Should you cross list? Is it worth it? I'm going to dig in deep and show you what I have experienced and why I think maybe you should be cross listing. Hi, this is Carrie with Sunshine Vintage Vibes. I am a vintage home decor reseller. My main shop is on Etsy, but I do cross list. So today we are going to talk about everything to do with cross listing. But first, I want to tell you, I have to mention a couple things about shipping that just can't wait. Can't wait for another video. I have to talk about two things with shipping. And then at the end, I have a little announcement that I just found out about, so I'm very excited. I'll tell you that at the end. But first, let's discuss shipping, and then we'll go into all the details about cross-listing. So I have gotten a lot of comments about shipping. Shipping is tough. Shipping is tricky. Shipping is, no matter what platform, it's tricky. So eBay, Etsy, they do calculated shipping, meaning you have to figure out the size and the weight so that when you ship it, it's calculated. It's not a flat rate like some of the other platforms like Whatnot and Facebook Marketplace. It's more of a flat rate depending on, I think, weight. Well, I am at the point where I never have measured anything out. I just don't do that. I will weigh an item every once in a while if it's heavy, like I just put something up that's 11 pounds. I will do that. But I've made some mistakes, so I know how to do it. So you have to just do what's good for you. But as you get going, it starts to become like, oh, this is gonna fit in this box and that box. So I use calculated shipping, and I ship everything ground. I mentioned this before, but the reason I needed to mention it again is because if you are on Etsy, they kind of hide the ground. So where do you find the ground shipping on Etsy? Ground shipping and media mail, when you go to set up your shipping profile in Etsy, I know it's different on eBay, you go down to the bottom, you have to click advanced shipping options. They hide it. They don't want you to find it. That's where you'll find ground and media mail. Then you just set up a profile, and when you list an item at the bottom, when you calculate your shipping, you got to select what profile. So just make sure, I think it populates to a custom, but I will ship everything ground. That's where you found ground shipping. Everybody was asking, where is ground shipping? Now it's on Etsy, it's ground, even though on the platform it says ground, does not include insurance. When you go to ship it, it actually populates ground advantage. What's on the shipping profile is old. I actually reached out to Etsy to confirm this. But when you go to actually ship it, you'll see it says ground shipping, $100 insurance is included. Now, media mail insurance is not included, so you have to factor that in. But media mail is so cheap. So if you ship any books, media, you got to use media mail. So that is that shipping. One more thing that is happening with shipping right now that I just don't even know what to say. So in June of 2026, the United States Postal Service changed their shipping rates for packages, commercial use, which includes Etsy and eBay, for anything that weighs between 2 and 5 pounds. They have lowered their rates. Fabulous. The problem is, anything that's below 2 pounds is more. So when I've been shipping out, I'd say in the last week, I started shipping things out, and I was between like £1.15, and then it was I think it was like $10.80. And then I decided to put it in a bigger box because I didn't feel like it was secure enough. So I took it out of that box, I put it in a bigger box, and I wrapped it up, and then it came out to like 2 pounds, 2 ounces, something like that, or maybe a little bit more. It went down. It went to $7.95. I'm like, wait, what? Like, did I do something wrong? Did I change the box? No, I didn't. They lowered their rates from the 2 to 5 pounds, but the under 2 pounds is now more expensive than the 2 pounds. Like, riddle me this is what I have to say. Like, I don't know what to say. This is what's happening. Is it going to change? Probably. The shipping stuff changes all the time. So you just have to stay like updated on it. So what have I been doing? Anything that is close to that 2 pounds, I'm putting, and it's going to stay the same rate. I am putting them in larger boxes. I'm putting a lot of packaging so that I hit that not 2 pounds. It has to be 2.1 pound to get to that lower rate. I don't know what to say. I'm just telling you what I've experienced. I had a package that was like 1.7, and I thought maybe I should put a couple rocks in there, it'll be cheaper. But I'm not going to send my client a bunch of rocks, so I didn't do that. Then I thought maybe I'll put a free mug, right? I don't know. I am thinking maybe I need to go around and start like thrifting some really inexpensive mugs and start putting mugs in my packages to weigh them down, but the buyers don't want that, so I'm not going to do that. But it did cross my mind for like a fleeting moment. But just be aware. But what I have been doing is I have been taking packages where I can fit them in a small box. I will put them in a larger box as long as it stays within that, within the parameters. I can't do too large where now it's going to go up another price. But just to keep the shipping rates down for my buyers, so the shipping is $7.95 and not $10.80. I know it's only a couple of dollars, but times 50 50 items, it adds up. So factor that in, be conscious of that when you are shipping. That is what I wanted to talk about. Now let's talk about cross-listing, why we are here. So if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's get right into cross-listing. There's a lot to talk about, and is it worth it? Let me just tell you my experience and my thoughts on it. I have some figures here for my sales, so I think that will help as well to see if it's worth it. So I decided last year, I've made some goals, and one of them was to cross-list. So I found FLYP, FLYP. They offer 100 days free trial, 100 days free, no credit card, just try it. That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I wanna see is it worth it? The two reasons why it's easier to use a cross-listing platform is so you don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to constantly upload. Now, if you have 10 items, no big deal. But even it's 100 days for free. So to me, I could not do all of this I can't repeat it. I can't take 400 listings, start over on eBay, forget it. It's not worth it. Don't do that. If you have over 50 items, don't do that. It's too hard. I hardly had any sales on eBay. I think I had a few on Poshmark, and maybe I had 1 or 2 on eBay, a few on Poshmark, and maybe 1 or 2 on Facebook. So I didn't really give it, this was last year. I didn't really give it a lot of energy. So that was on my goals list, to really dig deep and see if cross-listing is worth it. Because now they do delist it from other platforms, but you do have to make some effort into it. You can't just leave it. Now you can work off of the FLYP or any platform. You can work off of that. It's really user-friendly. And so you could just post everything there. Now, if you were to go into your Etsy account and reduce something, so this is the only thing I don't like about it, but they're all like this. If I go into my Etsy account and I reduce something from $50 to $40, it's not going to automatically do it to eBay. Even if I I go into FLYP and it syncs. To check solds and stuff, it'll sync. So if you do reduce a listing on the Etsy app, it's not going to reduce it on eBay. You have to do it in either the FLYP app, so it reduces all of the listings on all the platforms, or you have to go into each one. Obviously, it's easier to go into FLYP. So they all are like that, it's just the way it is. Now, I don't recommend working off of just FLYP and forgetting your Etsy account or your eBay account. I don't do that. I work off of Etsy. I'll even go into my other ones every once in a while. So, okay, so I had some sales, but a few, I think 1 or 2 on eBay, maybe 1 or 2 on Poshmark. This was last year. 1 or 2 on Poshmark, and then maybe 1 on Facebook. So I really didn't give it a lot of effort. It was just I had a bonus sale, right? If you watch my what solds, I'd have 1 or 2 sales from something else. But Etsy was still, making up 98% of my sales. So I wasn't putting much effort into it. So this year, I decided I'm going to do some live selling on Whatnot. So my 100-day free trial ended, and I was really happy with the platform a lot, super user-friendly. I really liked it, but they don't sync with Whatnot. So I decided to change. I go over to CrossList. I didn't really like CrossList. First of all, there was a 3-day free trial. There was no free trial, and they have plans. Again, you have to do what's good for you, but they had plans, and it was I don't know, $29.99, $39.99. You could only list 200. Well, I had 500 listings at the time, so I think I paid the $39.99, and then I still haven't done a Whatnot show. So, and I haven't. That was my mistake. While I was on it, I should have uploaded all of those items into Whatnot while I was on that platform, but I didn't do that. I've been backburning Whatnot. It's something on my list. I just haven't gotten into it. So I'm on CrossList, and I've decided I'm not even using it. I don't like to have fees. It's one of the reasons I do not have a booth is like, I don't want any monthly fees. Now, I see the appeal of a booth. I would love to have a booth. I don't want the monthly rent. I love my costs, my monthly costs are very minimal. And I was using CrossList $30 something, and I wasn't even using it. So I decided I'm going back to Flip. $9 a month, unlimited amount. I like the platform better. I will not recommend CrossList. For me, I can only recommend what I know. Now there's also Vendoo and there's a whole list of them. I will put up on the screen all of the ones and what they offer so you can see. There's tons. CrossList, List Perfectly, Vendoo is one. You know, all of them kind of integrated and whatnot is only a few. Flip. Now, I went back to Flip. I like it. I wish I never left because now the syncing is a little tough, but I think I've figured it out. So that is now that I'm back on Flip, I'm much happier and I am now really working on it. So now Facebook Marketplace has come over, like all of a sudden I'm selling stuff on Facebook, but I find it's kind of my lower items. So I have had, since I've cross-listed, I'll put this up here so you can see it. Since I've been cross-listing back on Flip, I've had 6 sales on Facebook totaling $361. On Poshmark, I've sold 5 items, $154 in sales. Sales, not profit. I didn't figure out profit, just sales. And then on Facebook, I've had 12 items sell for $239. So I've had by cross-listing, not my sales on Etsy, I've had 22 items sell with sales of $734. Now that's not profit, that's sales, $734. So not bad, 22 items that would not have sold if I didn't cross-list. So is cross-listing worth it? Yeah, I think it's worth it. For 22 items selling that normally wouldn't sell, I think it's worth it. And I think that the only thing is I think it just takes a little bit of time. I would, if you are just starting and you want to try it out, use Flip. Here is the link. It is 100 days for free. You can even just see if it's working because it takes a little bit of time and is it too much work? See, it does take a little bit of work. It's not a listed and forget it. You do have to go in, you do have to make changes. You can't, it's not like it syncs all the stuff on Etsy because each platform has their own parameters. I have to shorten the title. Sometimes I have to change the section. So let me give you an example. So let's say you have a copper teapot. You list it up on your Etsy account. It's up, it's ready. Now you go onto Flip and it syncs on there. Now you can, it's got like a standard one so you can make all the changes so that it's ready to list on all the platforms, but you don't have to list it on the platforms and it's not an automatic. You have to go in and do that. So I will go in and let's say I just want it on eBay and maybe Facebook Marketplace. I'm not gonna put it on Poshmark or Depop or Mercari. I don't have anything on Mercari. You go in and it, like every platform has their own parameters. They have their own title, character count, everything is a little bit different. So you do have to do a little bit of work for each listing. And 400 and something listings, it does take a bit. So I think that's what, at the beginning, I kind of listed a bunch and then I just stopped because I thought it was too hard. But now I kind of got into a rhythm. I will sync it and then when I'm ready, I'll take an hour or two and I'll sit down and I will then start cross-listing it. I won't do like, I'll list it on Etsy, then I go into Flip and I cross it. I don't do that all at once. I batch. I'm a batcher. I like to batch stuff. It makes it easier for me. Again, if that's too overwhelming, then don't do that. But I like to batch. So I will just list everything on Etsy as I normally do. And then when I'm ready to sit down and cross-list, then I will cross-list. I'll go into Flip and I will cross-list. So 2 things surprised me about cross-listing. One is hardly any sales on eBay. 6 sales on eBay. And one of those was this like a comic book box of my son's that we sold. Like 6? So basically 5 vintage items on eBay and I started with 180. I have 154, I think, some sold. So that was a bummer. That really surprised me. I thought I would get quite a bit of activity from eBay, which I did not. Now, on the flip side, hence Flip, that was an accident. Facebook Marketplace has surprised me. I watch a girl on YouTube. She's up in Canada. She's really funny. And she shops she shops every day, it seems like. But everything goes on Facebook Marketplace. I don't think she has an Etsy account. Everything Facebook Marketplace. And she's like buying all the time. So I thought I should really like dive into Facebook and put some more stuff on. And it has been working. So now I've sold 12 items on Facebook and I have currently 92 items. I've put a lot of my low item stuff I'm kind of ready to get rid of. I'm ready to move on from. Anything like from $10 to $20 I've been putting on Facebook. I went a different route and that did not work. All my large, heavy, big items, they all sell on Etsy. They don't sell on Facebook Marketplace. And that doesn't mean that I won't start listing everything that's over $20. I have to make it manageable for me right now. Once I have everything up on eBay and I've maximized the 250 and I have everything under 20 on Facebook Marketplace, then I'll have extra time to list other stuff on Facebook. But if it's providing what it's done lately, I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to see if this makes a difference. So this is something we're going to have to track because my numbers aren't me really doing this strategy, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And I will let you know how that's working because I think Facebook Marketplace is going to work this way. And that is anything under $20, I'm going to list on Facebook Marketplace. That seems to be the number that sells. The lower end, anything between like 10, 15, 18, that's been selling on Facebook Marketplace. So anything on my Etsy shop under $20 is going to go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to cross list it. And there's no maximum. So not like eBay, you only get 250. Now on eBay, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be very strategic about listing on eBay. Now I already have 154 listings. So I get 100 more to list or a little less. So what I've done, I'm going to screen record this so you can see it. Go to your Etsy account, go to your shop manager, and then scroll down to stats and then to shop traffic, and then click that. Now at the top, right under where it says stats, there is a date range. Now you can put any date range you want. Now I put, I think I did this year. Last 30 days work too, but again, you can put whatever works for you, but I did this year. So from January till now, June. I feel like that gives me a really good statistics. Now scroll down to the bottom where it says shoppers viewed your listings X amount of times. It's going to tell you how many times your listings have been viewed. To the right, it's going to populate all listings. You want to click active listings. You only want your active listings. Now it's going to give you all your listings, how many views. So it's going to show you your top viewed listing. And this is active. You only want your active because the solds don't matter. You've already sold them. How many views, how many favorites, of course, no orders and revenue because these are active. But this is your number one viewed listing. Now, this is going to be skewed a bit because maybe you just listed something, so it's not going to have as many as the other. So sometimes you could do it by the month, but I do it by the year because I want a whole, and I also want to see what people are looking at. So you can see here, this copper platter has been viewed 242 times, and it still has not sold. And I think I did reduce it once. 23 favorites. This has not been sold. So this is something that should be up on eBay. So how I'm doing this, and then you can go down, this needlepoint cat framed art viewed 221 times. It has 94 favorites. That's crazy, and it hasn't sold. So again, the croc, the wood adjusting, you can just keep going down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this page open and my FLYP open because I've already synced all the listings on Etsy into FLYP. So all the listings are on FLYP to cross list. And I'm going to cross list all of the high traffic listings, all the ones that have like the most views, the most favorites. So I'm going to take the next 190 whatever items and put those up on eBay, cross list them on eBay to see if this gives me any traction, because I can't be more strategic than that. This, like being strategic, does take an extra step that I understand if you don't want to do it. But this is what I'm going to do because I really want to maximize eBay to see if this is going to work. Because if my items are getting 200 plus views and 20, 30, 40, 50 likes on Etsy, then that seems like a pretty high like item that is desirable, that I want. Those are the items I want on eBay. I want the items on eBay that are going to get some clicks and some sales. So this is my plan, and I'm planning on doing this through the holidays. I'm not going to stop cross-listing. I'm going to reevaluate after the holidays to see if it's worth it, to see if taking the time to do all of this cross-listing is worth it. Let's go into FLYP real quick. I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So right now, you can just go into a listing. Let's just take this first one. This is a sterling and frosted glass ice bucket. I'll probably list this on eBay. So we're just going to go in, and you can see the form. This is what it looks like. You could just do the universal form. So takes everything from your eBay, all your pictures, but you can see here where you have 137 characters. I will just like, I will like kind of clear that part out. So then I keep this link. I got to get rid of that link because that's not, if you have any links in your description, it won't take it. It says unbranded. So you have to go through it because it is branded. It is by Rockwell, right? So we got to put that in there. And you have to like find it. Sometimes you have to make your own. I see there's a little mistake in there. Gently used, color silver. Tags usually come that. Now the category, I'm gonna put it is, let's see, home and garden. Actually, I think there's an antique. So I'm gonna put this one in antiques. Because this one is old. 1930s, silver. Let's see if it has that. Silver plated is sterling. Okay, so I'm gonna do some research and see. Okay, so now I'm gonna save it. Okay, now it's saved. Now it's ready to list on Depop, but you can see, look, it's already listed here on Etsy. It's ready to list on Depop, but I'm not gonna list it. I wanna list it on eBay. So I'm gonna go here, save changes always. Then I'm gonna go back up and see what I have to fill in. Well, the characters are too long, 107. I had to get down to 80. Then you have to go down, make sure you have it. And now this has a separate condition. Now I keep my condition all together. So what I will do is I will copy the condition, and then I'll put in the description, but I'll still leave it in here. And I'll go down and you can see it, show optional fields right here. Click that, go down and complete it as much as you can. And so then you're gonna go ahead and list it on eBay. Now I'm gonna save it because I do wanna just make sure I have everything in there. So you just list it on eBay, and then it's gonna pop up here showing listed on eBay. Ready, look, see, it says these are all ready to list. So you can just click ready to list, if you wanna put everything. That's how you do it. Oh wait, one thing, please, 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 do not, under any circumstances, do not bulk delist and relist. Do not do that. Ever, anytime, don't do that. It seems easier, but I promise you it is not, and it's going to ruin your shop. It's the same thing that happened when Etsy changed everybody's titles. Like you can just click and change it all at once. Your shop goes from being in the mix to like it's kicked out and it's got to start over and it's got to figure out how to get back, which takes months. So do not, no matter what platform you use, do not delist and relist everything because you think that's going to be easier. Do not ever do anything in bulk. Ever, 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 ever. Don't bulk anything. I know it seems easier, but you're going to lose sales. So don't do that. You'll sync all of your platforms onto FLYP, and then you're going to have to go into each one and list it. If you want to try cross-listing, that's what I would do. I would try FLYP. Here is a link here for 100 days free. So it's going to cost you $0, and you don't even have to put a credit card in. You just try it out, see if you like it. And if you just want, you don't have to connect all of them. I just did, but you can just connect Facebook Marketplace or eBay. To me, if I were you, I don't know what you're selling. I don't know what you're selling, but Facebook has like, eBay and Poshmark were like kind of neck and neck. And then I started listing more stuff on Facebook, and it's like, whoa. And I told you I watched that other YouTuber in Canada, and she only lists on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, there must be something there. I don't know if you already list on Facebook. Am I behind the scene? Am I late to the party because I haven't been taking advantage of Facebook Marketplace? Possibly. Now I'm recommending FLYP because I really like it. I started using it because of the free trial, and then I really liked it. The only reason only reason I left is it's not integrated with Whatnot. And I was planning on doing Whatnot. So I left to another platform. I tried it out. I never even did Whatnot. I never even uploaded anything to Whatnot. And I thought, you know what? I'm paying $30 a month. This is ridiculous. I went back to FLYP. $9 unlimited. $9 a month is like one sale. One sale pays for my monthly. So to me, worth it. I have one last little announcement here, but I just want to say thank you so much. These reseller videos have been really, really fun. I love all your comments. Thank you so much for everybody who comments. It's really, it makes my day. My phone dings and I get in and I see a comment. So thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Truly, it makes my day. So my announcement is I am doing a pop-up. It was on my goals for this year was to do a pop-up. So I'm doing it in October 17th at the, we have an antique mall in Temecula. It's Granny's Attic Antique Mall, and they do a flea market once a year in the fall. I've never been, I mean, I've been to the mall tons of times, but not the flea market. I don't know why, but I am gonna be there. I already paid my fee, so I have to go. Again, and it's like it's a Saturday, October 17th. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to track all of this cross listing. When I finish all of these videos at the end of the summer, I will do a recap of what's going on. Probably during that Q&A, I'll give a update on what's happening with the cross listing. And again, is it worth it? My thought is I'm going to maximize all of these cross listings through the holidays, probably Poshmark as well. Really like double down on all of this through the holidays because the fall and the holidays are our busiest season. So everybody says, I mean, I had a pretty busy season, but I had a great May, so who knows? And then come like mid-January, because I had a really good January too, I will do sort of probably a clean out of all of the items that have not sold that I've had for a while. And we will see you next Monday. I'm not sure, framing maybe. Framing is probably what I want to get to. I am actually going to the Torrance Antique Street Fair tomorrow. I'm bringing a couple of pieces of art to get appraised. And one viewer asked if I would show how to ship like a piece of art, how I ship a piece of art. So I will show that as well. So I might just do a big framing video and I'll show like what the art got appraised for, and we'll show how to ship it and kind of showing all of that. So that's my thought. If I can get it done by next week, I will get that one for next week. If not, I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, we'll see you next Monday. Thanks. Bye.